Friends and family, I welcome you to the CSU Global Commencement Ceremony of 2020. I am honored and proud to be here in front of you all today. It has been a long, hard journey these past few years. As I reflect on our time here, it has made me think of great leaders that have influenced us and challenged us. Working towards my degree to better my career in human resources was harder than expected, even though I've been in the field for 5 years. I would not be where I am today without a great leader who influenced me. We all have had leaders who have shaped our lives. Some of us have been influenced by great professors here, others by workplace colleagues or family. But what makes a great leader? What kind of leader do we want to be going forward? When we look at good leaders, the foundation of leadership is being able to master your own time. Time management is the key to completing the tasks put in front of us. Most of us have families and work full-time. We then consciously made the decision to enroll in higher education, as if we didn't have enough on our plates. These commitments forced me to reflect and look at what was most important. Was it binge watching that new show on Netflix or using that time to work on myself? I wanted to be the best student I could be for myself. It wasn't about just passing. I wanted to obtain high grades. As one of my professors once said, as humans, we are progressively transforming ourselves and actively learning to use time and resources more efficiently. By paying attention to what I wanted to receive out of higher ed learning, it allowed me to see what kind of leader I wanted to be. Wanted to be the leader that makes a difference, that makes a good impression on people, a leader that is memorable in a positive way. To transform myself into that leader, I needed to reflect on what was important to me. Pierre Case states that there are 3 key dimensions to leadership. By leading oneself, you create the ability to become a role model to others. A role model is confident. They are constantly trying to better themselves. They do not sit still. They look to the horizon to see what they could do better. Role models help lead the team. When you are leading a team, you are helping achieve a goal they might not have been able to achieve alone. You are giving them their freedom to make decisions, but are in constant communication to build their confidence. You are creating future leaders. Finally, when leading the organization, you have the ability to move the organization forward while making sure continued performance improvement is beneficial to all those involved. Good leaders have the power of change. Their personal power influences those around them to see the bigger picture. These 3 dimensions demand integrity and self-awareness if you want to be a great leader. I myself strive to be that leader. I want to influence and make difference on people's lives. I ask you to reflect on what kind of influence you want to have on others. Do we want to be a formal leader, one who influences those around them by authority and position, or do we want to be an informal leader, one who influences by reputation? A great leader has influence because they can actively listen to the person in front of them and hear their position. I once had a leader who had the ability to sit down and listen to anyone who had any type of concern. George was an attentive listener. He would allow the person to finish speaking without interrupting. His facial expressions and body language would let you know that he had your full attention. He showed genuine concern for their concerns, letting them know they were not alone. He always made sure to thank them for their concerns they brought to him. He made them feel respected and heard. This type of influence made people feel comfortable to approach him with any topic or issue they might have. He earned the respect of those around him. He was a democratic leader who allowed the voices around him to be heard and make influence on his final decisions. Being able to influence through reputation shows you're an ethical leader. I saw that George was always aware of his emotions and did not allow his personal beliefs to take over his decision making. It made me reflect on myself. It made me realize I had some growing to do. In the past, I would jump to conclusions or let my emotions get the best of me. My beliefs would blind me to what was actually happening. My intuitions would take over, making me an ineffective leader. My personal journey in higher learning has taught me I need to be patient as a leader. I aspire to be like George. I want to build a trust around my people. I want to motivate and inspire them the best they can. Leadership coach and teacher Alana Aguilar stated in her article, "Reflecting on yourself as a leader, our circumstances heavily influence who we are and can be as leaders. We need to reflect and see what kind of leaders we want to be in the future. Do we want to be like George? Do we want to listen and encourage the members of our teams and still have the final say in all decision making? Or do we want to delegate to our teams where we do not interfere and trust them to make the right choice? We all want to be good leaders and influence to make a positive impact." I end today by asking you to take the 10-point leadership oath with me. I resolve to improve myself and my organization to better the professional lives of those whom I lead and to productively impact the larger community. I will respect my employees and colleagues as individuals and be open to their input and feedback when making decisions. I know the power of my example, so I will be very intentional and model a positive example every day. I appreciate the need to share credit widely. Admit when I am to blame, and learn and grow from my mistakes. I will take calculated risks to advance myself and my organization. I must pursue learning as a fun, lifelong task and encourage continuous learning for others for my organization. I value personal responsibility and individual integrity as essential to my sustained success. I must be held accountable and hold others accountable based on our values, goals, and standards. I will be proactive when change is needed. And finally, I endeavor to make the best decisions possible for my organization. Your biggest challenge is deciding what kind of leader you're going to be. I say go out there, be the leader that you wish was there for you when you needed it most. Thank you.